What if I told you the most magnetic thing a man can offer a woman has little to do with money, looks, or social status, but everything to do with his presence? Most men never realize this. They spend years trying to win women with gifts, compliments, or flashy achievements, only to end up frustrated when the spark fades or she never looks at them with genuine desire. Maybe you've been there. You tried to impress, to prove your worth, to show you were enough, but deep down you knew it wasn't working. Instead of drawing her closer, all that effort pushed her away. Here's the truth. Women aren't pulled in by endless effort or approval seeking. What sparks attraction is something far more subtle, yet infinitely more powerful. It's not about doing more. It's about embodying a quality she can feel without you saying a word. A habit so natural, so masculine, that it instantly transforms how she responds. The ancient Stoics knew this long before modern psychology. They understood that power, presence, and restraint are magnetic. Women don't gravitate to the man who tries hardest, but to the man who simply is. In this video, we'll break down the 10 masculine habits women find irresistibly attractive and ways to live it out every day. Number 1. Stop apologizing. Most men fall into this trap too often. They apologize not because they've truly done harm, but because they've been conditioned to shrink their presence. The issue? Every needless sorry doesn't make you look kind. It makes you look unsure. It signals weakness, and nothing kills attraction faster than weak energy. Think about it. A man who keeps saying, "Sorry, is this okay?" or "Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt," is basically announcing to the world that he doubts his own value. He's not grounded in his power. He's asking for permission just to exist, and women don't feel desire for that energy. At best, they tolerate it. At worst, they lose respect. Take Williams, 29, from Alaska. Smart guy, works in tech, stays fit. But on dates, he apologizes for the smallest things. At dinner, when the waitress asks if he wants dessert, he says, "Oh, sorry, I don't eat sugar." Later, when he shares thoughts on a book, he adds, "Sorry if that sounds silly." By the end of the night, his date doesn't sense confidence. She feels hesitation, and hesitation always reads as weakness. Now compare that to Sandra, 26, who went out with him a few times. Later, she told her friends Williams was nice, but she never felt pulled toward him. Why? Because he never seemed to believe in himself. His constant apologies made her feel like she had to lead. And that, gentlemen, kills attraction. Here's the truth. Women don't want endless apologies. They want to feel your grounded presence. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." Stop apologizing for existing. Start living with intention. Now, this doesn't mean bulldozing people or refusing to admit when you're wrong. Real men take responsibility. But accountability is different from compulsive apologizing. Accountability says, "Yes, I made a mistake. I'll fix it." Over-apologizing says, "I'm sorry for being here." One builds respect, the other destroys it. So how do you stop? Catch yourself. When sorry wants to slip out for something small, pause. Replace it with strength. Instead of "Sorry, I'm late," say, "Thanks for waiting." Instead of "Sorry for bothering you," say, "Do you have a moment?" These small changes carry weight. Women may never say, "Wow, he doesn't over-apologize," but they'll feel the difference. You'll project calmness, self-respect, and masculine certainty. And those are exactly the traits women find attractive. Number 2, lead. Don't chase. One of the biggest mistakes men make with women is chasing. You know the signs, always texting first, over-planning, or carrying the subtle desperation of trying to convince her to spend time with you. And here's the paradox. The harder you chase, the faster she pulls away. Why? Because chasing comes from insecurity. It's the energy of a man who doubts himself, who believes he must prove his worth before she'll value him. That energy is heavy. It repels. Leading, on the other hand, comes from confidence. It says, I already know my value. I'm moving forward with purpose. You're welcome to join me. But whether she accepts or not, your life continues. That simple shift changes everything. Think of it like this. Chasing puts her in control. You're reacting to her moods, following her signals, letting her set the pace. Leading restores your natural masculine role. You create the frame, you set the direction, and invite her into it. Women deeply respect that. It's not control, it's clarity. The Stoics knew this. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you chase, you're enslaved to her attention. Your happiness rises and falls with her texts, but when you lead, you remain centered. You show you can create structure, make decisions, and live with intention. That steadiness makes women lean closer. Practically, leading doesn't mean being arrogant. It means taking initiative with calm confidence. Instead of begging for time, you frame the invite. I'm checking out a new spot Thursday at 8. Join me if you'd like. See the difference? It's not a plea. It's an opportunity. If she says no, you still go. If she says yes, she steps into your world. Leadership also includes emotional leadership. If she throws drama at you, you don't get dragged in. You stay steady. You set the tone. You show that her storm can't shake your foundation. That's true leadership. So shift your mindset. Stop asking, how can I get her to like me? Start asking, how can I invite her into the life I'm building? Scarcity dissolves. Abundance takes over. You're no longer chasing. You're leading. Drop a comment below with the phrase, I am leading. That's your declaration that chasing ends today. Number 3, hold your frame. A lot of men don't even realize when they've lost it. One small shift in her mood, one sharp comment, and suddenly he's scrambling to win her approval back. But here's the thing. When you let her emotions dictate your state, you've given away your power. Women test men for this exact reason. They want to see if you'll stay centered or if you'll crumble. Attraction lives in the difference. Frame is the energy you carry into the world. It's your beliefs, your boundaries, your sense of self. When you hold your frame, you're unshakable. When you lose it, you become reactive. And no woman desires a man who can be knocked off balance by the smallest gust of wind. Let me give you an example. John, 32, from Manchester, is dating Maya. She tells him, "You never make enough time for me." John panics. He cancels his weekend plans, rearranges his schedule, and shows up with gifts. On the surface, it looks thoughtful, but deep down, Maya feels something else. She senses weakness. Instead of respecting him more, she loses interest. Why? Because he abandoned his frame. He let her emotional storm pull him under. Now let's flip it. Same scenario, different response. Maya says, "You never make enough time for me." But this time, John stays calm. He listens, validates her feelings, and responds with, "I hear you. I've been focused on work this week, but Saturday night is ours. I want us to enjoy it. No panic, no desperation, just steady leadership." Maya feels reassured. Why? Because John held his frame. The Stoics lived by this principle. Seneca wrote, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." When you overreact to every shift in her mood, you suffer needlessly. When you stay grounded, you show her that you can handle life and her without losing yourself. That stability builds trust, and trust builds attraction. How do you practice this? First, slow down your reactions. When she tests you, don't rush to fix it or defend yourself. Breathe, stay calm, respond, don't react. Second, know your values. If you're clear on your priorities, you won't bend every time she pushes. Third, Remember that her emotions aren't yours to control. They're hers to feel, yours to respect, but not yours to solve. Number 4. Speak with conviction. Have you ever noticed how some men can say almost anything, and women lean in? Not because of what they say, but how they say it. That's the power of conviction. It's not about raising your voice or being arrogant. It's about speaking from a place of certainty. Most men sabotage themselves here. They fill sentences with, I guess, or maybe. They end statements like questions. They hedge instead of owning their words, and women feel it immediately. It's the language of doubt. Doubt never inspires attraction. Think about it. If you say, maybe we could try that place if you want, what message are you sending? You're signaling uncertainty. Compare that with, there's a great spot downtown. Let's check it out. Same idea, different delivery. One feels weak, the other feels grounded. The Stoics practiced this kind of strength. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Conviction isn't about dominating, it's about aligning your words with truth. When you speak from clarity, your voice carries weight. Now, here's the kicker. Conviction is trained. Start small. Cut filler words. When you speak, finish your sentences firmly. Record yourself if you need to. Notice your tone. Do you sound unsure, or do you sound grounded? Women pick up on this instantly. Conviction also means backing your beliefs. If she challenges you, don't fold just to keep peace. You can disagree with respect and still hold your stance. That shows her you're a man, not a people pleaser. And trust me, respect always outlasts temporary comfort. So practice this. Speak slower, drop the nervous laughter, and let your words land. You'll be amazed how people, especially women, begin to listen differently. Number 5. Be comfortable with silence. This one separates boys from men. Most guys can't handle silence around a woman. They panic, scramble for small talk, and overfill the space with nervous chatter. Why? Because silence exposes insecurity. But here's the paradox. Silence, when owned, is one of the most powerful tools of masculine presence. Think about it. A man who can sit across from a woman, hold her gaze, and let silence breathe without fidgeting communicates volumes. He's saying, I'm at ease with myself. I don't need to perform for your approval. That calmness is magnetic. It invites her in. Take Felix, 29, on his first date with Amanda. Every quiet moment he panics, he cracks jokes, tells random stories, checks his phone. Amanda feels the energy. He's uncomfortable, and discomfort is contagious. She doesn't relax because he can't relax. By the end of the night, she's drained. Not because Felix was rude, but because he couldn't be still. Now imagine Peter, 34. Same situation. He and Amanda share dinner. Conversation flows, but when silence arrives, he simply holds her gaze, takes a sip of wine, and smiles. No rush, no panic. Amanda feels safe, seen, and drawn closer. Why? Because Peter is comfortable with silence. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus taught, silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. When you're at peace with silence, you show strength. You show patience. And women feel that presence more strongly than any words. Here's how to practice. Next time silence comes, resist the urge to fill it. Breathe. Let it sit. Notice your tension. Relax into it. You'll find that the woman often breaks the silence first, and she'll respect you more for your calmness. Drop this in the comments. I resist the urge to break the silence. Because when you master it, silence stops being awkward. It becomes attraction. Number 6. Stay mission-focused. Here's a truth most men learn the hard way. When you make a woman the center of your life, she eventually loses interest. It feels flattering at first, constant attention, endless devotion, but soon she starts to feel smothered. Why? Because deep down, women don't want to be your purpose. They want to be part of a man who already has one. Your mission, your vision, your goals, your growth is what makes you magnetic. It's what gives your presence depth. A man with no mission drifts. A man with mission pulls others into his orbit. That's the difference. Take Jossie at 30. He meets a woman, and overnight, she becomes his entire focus. He stops going to the gym, cancels time with friends, even skips work opportunities just to be available for her. At first, she enjoys the attention, but soon she feels the shift. His life starts revolving around her instead of around something bigger. Attraction fades, not because she stopped liking him, but because he stopped leading himself. Now look at James, 35. He runs his own business, trains for marathons, and invests in his growth. When he dates, he makes time for her, but never at the expense of his mission. She respects him more, not less, because she sees he has direction. He's not clinging to her for meaning. He already has it. That's the energy women crave. Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." The Stoics lived by this. They knew life isn't about chasing approval, but about living with purpose. And when you live with purpose, people, especially women, are drawn to that fire. So here's your move. Clarify your mission. What drives you? What are you building? Where are you headed? Then guard it fiercely. A good woman doesn't want to replace your mission. She wants to walk beside you while you pursue it. Number 7. Show restraint. Most men think masculinity is about showing off, loud, flashy, dominant at every turn. But here's the twist. Real strength isn't about constant display. It's about restraint. The ability to hold back, to stay calm, to not overreact. That's what signals true power. Picture two men in an argument. One yells, throws insults, and slams the table. The other listens, keeps his composure, and responds with clarity. Who seems stronger? Exactly. Anger without control is weakness. Calmness under fire is strength. Women pick up on this fast. They notice when a man can control his emotions. It makes them feel safe. Safe doesn't mean boring. It means reliable. They know that when life throws chaos, you won't collapse or explode. You'll handle it. That steadiness is deeply attractive. The Stoics valued restraint above almost everything. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Restraint isn't about avoiding emotion, it's about mastering it. Feeling anger but not being ruled by it. Feeling desire but not being desperate. That balance is power. Here's how to train it. Practice pausing before you react. When you feel triggered, breathe. When you want to overindulge, step back. When you're tempted to prove yourself, stay silent. Each act of restraint builds respect from others and from yourself. So, gentlemen, remember, women aren't impressed by loud displays. They're drawn to the man who doesn't need to prove he's strong because he already knows it. Number 8. Be decisive. Indecision is one of the fastest ways to kill attraction. A man who can't choose signals uncertainty, and uncertainty breeds doubt. Women don't want to mother you through decisions. They want to feel that you can lead with clarity. Think about it. If she asks, "Where should we eat?" and you reply, "I don't know, what do you want?" again and again, it chips away at her trust in your leadership. Small? Yes. But small things stack up. Eventually, she feels like she's with a boy, not a man. Decisiveness doesn't mean you always get it right. It means you choose with confidence and adjust if needed. It shows courage. It shows ownership. That's far more attractive than hesitation. Let's take Francis, 28. He's dating Emma. Every time they plan something, he stalls. Maybe we should do this, unless you'd rather. Emma gets frustrated, not because of the decision itself, but because of his indecision. She loses trust in his ability to lead. Now imagine Cyprian, 32, from Toronto. He tells Emma, "We're checking out that new Italian spot Friday at 7. Clear, confident. If Emma prefers something else, she'll say so, but she respects his decisiveness. He's showing he can lead, not beg for direction. The Stoics taught this too. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Life favors the decisive. It's not about perfection. It's about clarity. So practice this. Next time you face a choice, stop overthinking. Decide. Own it. Move forward. Even a wrong decision, owned fully, builds more respect than endless hesitation. Drop this in the comments. I am decisive. I lead with clarity. Because masculinity thrives where indecision dies. Number 9. Set boundaries. Without boundaries, you lose yourself. Many men allow women to cross their limits because they fear losing them. But here's the reality. When you tolerate disrespect, you don't keep her. You lose her respect. And respect is the foundation of attraction. Boundaries aren't walls to push people away. They're guidelines that protect your self-respect. They say, "This is what I allow. This is what I don't." And when you enforce them calmly, women respect you more, not less. Consider Robert, 29. His girlfriend frequently cancels plans last minute. Instead of addressing it, he shrugs it off, saying, "It's fine." Deep down, resentment grows, but she senses the weakness. By not standing up for himself, Robert trains her to treat him casually. Over time, her respect fades. Now compare with Jackson, 35, same scenario. His girlfriend cancels again. Jackson replies calmly, "I value my time. If you can't commit, let's not make plans until you're sure." No anger, no begging, just clarity. She realizes she can't treat him carelessly. Respect grows. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Setting boundaries is just that, mastering yourself instead of trying to control others. You teach people how to treat you by what you accept. So practice this. Know your non-negotiables. Communicate them with calm confidence. And if someone crosses them, enforce consequences without drama. A woman will test your boundaries. That's natural. But if you hold firm, she'll respect you. And respect fuels attraction. Therefore, it is important to protect your boundaries, because without them, you're not strong. You're disposable. Number 10. Live with integrity. At the core of everything we've talked about lies one truth: integrity. Women may be drawn to charm, looks, or status, but what truly keeps their respect is whether you live aligned with your values. Integrity is masculine gold. Without it, everything else collapses. Integrity means doing what you say, honoring your word, and living consistently with your beliefs. It's being the same man in private that you are in public. No masks, no double lives, just truth. Think about it. A man can be confident, successful, even magnetic. But if he lies, cheats, or betrays trust, the attraction crumbles. Women might be fooled for a while, but eventually they see the cracks. And when integrity breaks, respect vanishes. Now look at the opposite. A man of integrity may not be perfect. He may not be the richest or the flashiest, but when he says something, it holds weight. When he commits, he follows through. That consistency builds trust, and trust sustains attraction. The Stoics placed integrity at the heart of life. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Integrity is exactly that, choosing your standard and living it every day. Here's how to live it. Keep your word, even in small things. Don't say, "I'll call," unless you mean it. Don't claim values you don't live. Align your actions with your beliefs. Women notice this deeply. It's not the grand gestures, but the daily consistency that proves integrity. So, there you have it. 10 masculine habits that make women naturally drawn to you. Not tricks, not games, just timeless principles that shift how you show up as a man. From holding your frame to living with integrity, each habit builds respect, attraction, and power. Remember, this isn't about becoming someone else. It's about stripping away the weakness, the over-apologizing, the chasing, and stepping fully into your strength. Women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for presence. And when you embody these habits, you stop seeking approval and start commanding respect. Now, tell me, which of these habits do you need to work on most right now? Drop it in the comments. And if you found value in this video, subscribe, because we're building a community of men who lead with strength, wisdom, and integrity. Until next time, remember, attraction isn't built on tricks. It's built on presence, and presence starts with you.